Hello and welcome back to Hypnosis Today, where we explore how people are using hypnosis to achieve remarkable things. If you have just joined us, I have as my second two guests. Well, my first guest is TJ Galatas, and he is an honors grad of HMR College of Hypnotherapy, and he has with him his very special client and guest, Charles. Now, Charles came in to see TJ for a very interesting presenting issue, food phobia. Help me welcome my two very special guests. Charles, I want to start with you. Tell me, what was going on?
Well, for, I'll just say many, many years, I've had a food phobia. Anything outside my normal food circle, so to speak, I would have retching, gagging, just on the edge of having a real scene. And it just got to the point where I said I knew that there's got to be a way to get rid of this, and it's probably through some ways, and I thought hypnosis sounds like the best way.
Sure. Now, how many years had you been struggling with this?
Let's just say a few years, many years.
Okay, got it. I want to ask more about what the quality of your life was before you saw TJ. How did it impact your life?
It's kind of hard to be the meat eater of a family whose one half is strictly vegetarian, and we have to figure ways to say, okay, well, how can we have a great dinner and still please Charles, which made me kind of feel like, okay, I'm kind of out of it. And it got to the point where, like, look, I really want to enjoy things with my friends and company, and I want to learn how to eat better. So
what was the restrictions that you had? How big were your choices, or how restrictive was it?
It was very restrict. I mean, it was to the point where it's like chicken's okay, meat's okay, but anything like vegetables or fruit is a little bit like in the okay, we're really going to have to tread on things on tiptoes through this. Is he going to get sick? Is he going to have a scene? And it just got to the point where like, look, I know I've heard hypnosis does great. I want to check this out and see what it does. And TJ really has done a great job at where I now have a choice. It's not like, okay, you have to eat this. It's like, okay, I can try this and just put myself in a gentle state and say, okay, it's going to be great. You're going to love it. It's going to be. And sure enough, it has.
I want to go through some of the process a little bit. Certainly you wouldn't want to be a burden to your family or your friends, or have people be afraid to go out to eat with you. And you thought about hypnosis. How did you even know about hypnotherapy?
It's been around for years. I've heard, there's, books on self-hypnosis and all that stuff. And I thought, well, I don't know if I'm really good at hypnotizing myself. Then I heard through a friend of the Hypno Institute here, and I went online, and there was a great section where you could fill out a question, and I said, look, I got this food thing, I want to get rid of it. I want to put it out of existence. I wouldn't say get rid of it, I want to put it out of existence. Can someone help me? And next thing you know, I got a email back, and come on in and we'll help you out.
The best thing about HMI College of Hypnotherapy is we not only have therapists here and have a clinic, but we also have our student base. And the people who receive all the emails, they are wonderful at matching clients with hypnotherapists. I very rarely, if ever, have seen it not be a beautiful match. What did you think when you did you get a call or an email from TJ himself?
I got a call from TJ.
What did you think when you talked to him on the phone?
He sounded incredible. He sounded like he really was concerned about my problem, and that with guidance and patience and the right tools, that this food phobia will be just a thing of the past.
TJ, phobias are common, food phobias a little less so. Tell me a little bit about what kind of methodology you used to help Charles overcome his phobia of certain foods.
When I talked to Mr. Charles, we determined the cause and what was causing his problem. And
Are you
so,
comfortable talking about what had caused the problem?
Yeah.
Can you share it with us?
Yeah, it was basically, the parent saying you have to eat this. And, when you're quite young, you do that, no, I don't want to. And they say, okay, well, we're going to stay here all night we have to have this till you eat this.
So it turns into a control game.
Yeah, it was a control game.
And it turns, everybody comes to parenting with the purest, most beautiful, most wonderful intention. Sometimes people don't understand the long-term effects. So in your mind, food was a battle of wills. No wonder you would want to gag. And when did this start? How young were you when you remember?
Okay, I'm going to be honest. I would say about when I was 2, 3.
I believe you.
That was when things really started to have a battle of contest between my parents and I. Don't you want to grow up to be strong? I went, yes, but I'm going to do it my way. I don't want to do it,
That's
your
right.
way.
Yes.
And it just got to be a battle of wills and contest and like okay and restrict like okay you won't get dessert or you're only going to have half of whatever the situation is. It just got to the point where anything relatively new in my food circle, so to speak, I would just start gagging and retching and it got to the point where it's like okay, is he going to get sick or what's going on? And I always knew that there's got to be some way, and it was luckily through hypnosis, and TJ has been incredibly instrumental at curbing this.
How brilliant is the subconscious mind that instead of having a contest of wills with your parents, if you start throwing up, for some reason they begin to back off rather quickly. And you know what? Once you were no longer 2, once you were a big, strong man, it stopped serving you. And you were ready to release it. So, TJ, tell me about it. Now we have the cause. We understand where it came from. How did you allow TJ to pass it, Charles to pass it, and to move on to be an adventurous eater, where he was in charge of his food wasn't in charge of him?
right. Well, what we did was we took him on an imagery journey, taking him and letting him see himself already enjoying the foods, enjoying the vegetables, and we put it into a subconscious mind that he is always in control. His subconscious mind is in control. That he eats vegetables because he likes them, because he wants to, not because he has to. And so we deepened him with that suggestion, and we worked on his breath and on his breathing. So when he goes to eat vegetables, he could just anchor himself onto a breath.
Was hypnosis what you thought it was going to be? Certainly, you and I, 2 young people sitting here talking,
Right.
I certainly know that before I came to HMI, I had kind of a wild and certainly inaccurate view of what hypnosis was. Thought it was scary, thought it could have been some sort of mind control. What did you think hypnosis was?
I knew that hypnosis was going to do wonders. Years ago, there was an event at a nearby college that I'm nearby, and they had a guy talking about hypnosis, and for those who were really interested, he goes, okay, I can take maybe 10 of you and we'll do a little thing, and first to find out if you're subject to hypnosis, and 4th person in, he said, you're perfect, boy, I could really do wonders with you, because my subconscious was very open to like saying, bring more of this. This is great.
Sure.
And I just been kind of like, okay, I didn't really follow through on that, and it just got to the point where, look, I got to learn how to eat better. I want to have a greater time with myself and my friends and family, and HMI really did a incredible, blessed job.
Excellent. What did it feel like to be in hypnosis with TJ? What was the sensation?
The sensation is that you're asleep but not totally asleep, that you're just kind of like, you're very open to the positive suggested words that TJ speaks of, that the subconscious mind is taking this in like, okay, it's going to be all right. It's not threatening, it's not terrifying, it's not going to be a control thing, and it was just very calm and peaceful.
Well, nobody goes to see a hypnotherapist to lose control. The only reason you see a hypnotherapist is to get more control over your life.
Right.
So now you come out of the hypnotic trance and you have an opportunity to try foods that you haven't had, well, using your words, in a really, really, really long time.
Right.
Take me through that first time when you sat down at that meal.
It was just like riding a bike for the first time. I mean, riding a bike that you haven't ridden in a long time. The food was cucumbers, and I said, okay, I can do this. Gave myself that little anchor breath, little hand gesture, and wow, this is great.
So you used an anchor. So show me the anchor. TJ, teach us all the anchor for moving into a behavior that previously we've been afraid of.
Right. My anchor basically was a breathing anchor to calm himself and to every time that he wants to eat the vegetables or something, he can control his anxiety with his breath, and allowing him to eat vegetables without really choking on it.
What else have you tried besides cucumbers?
Radishes.
Wow.
Celery, which again, it's just involving. The next step is we're going to do tacos next week, so I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to that.
Like on Taco Tuesday, maybe.
Yeah.
What a good idea! What a good idea. You know, when we say celery, cucumbers, tacos, it might not seem like a big deal to anyone who hasn't ever struggled with a fear or a phobia. The definition of a phobia, and I'm sure TJ has told you this, is a irrational fear. Doesn't have a basis. It doesn't. Is it like you're scared of pianos because a piano fell on you one day when you were walking down the sidewalk? And when you have an irrational fear, you can't explain it to anybody, but it's real, it's tangible, and when you overcome it, it's like being liberated. Is that what it feels like?
Yeah, it really feels like I said, I could now, next time if I go out, I can, with my brother and his family who are vegans, I can say, you know what, I'll have a cucumber salad and watch them go, wait a minute, is this the same Charles?
Is this the same guy?
Is this the same Charles that I've known for, for as long as I've been born? It's like, wait a minute, he's like in cucumber salad. Are you sure? What happened to you?
Now, that's your brother.
Yeah.
What did your wife say?
I'm single.
Oh, excuse me.
That's right.
Have I got a girl for you? So what do your friends say?
My friends are really pleased. They're really, really glad to see me stepping up and saying, wow, he's actually ordering something completely different. It's not that like I can verbally say, Charles is going to have this, this, this. He's like, no, I'm going to have a little bit of cucumber as well. Wait a minute, who's this guy now?
It's nice to be a little unpredictable.
Yeah.
So what would you say to someone who has an irrational fear?
I would say it's not your fault. It's not you. It's that I would say a block in the subconscious mind, and that HMI is a great stepping stone to living and being in a greater life than you ever possible.
What would you tell that person about TJ?
TJ is absolutely one of the best persons that I ever have come across, who's kind, patient, really understanding. His devotion to hypnosis is to be applauded. I am in deep gratitude to you, TJ.
Thank you.
Wow. TJ, everybody's going to want to know more about your unique way of doing hypnotherapy and your kindness and your compassion and your insight. And you can reach TJ Galatas at hmigrants.com. It appears we're out of time for today. I want to thank Charles. I want to thank TJ for coming in and sharing your experiences with us. I want to thank everybody in the studio audience and everyone watching at home. My name is Lisa Machenberg, and I hope you'll join us next time when we meet more people and explore how they are using Hypnosis Today. But please stay tuned. We have a lot more coming up for you on Hypnosis TV.
half is strictly vegetarian, and we have to figure ways to say, okay, well, how can we have a great dinner and still please Charles, which made me kind of feel like, okay, I'm kind of out of it. And it got to the point where, like, look, I really want to enjoy things with my friends and company, and I want to learn how to eat better.
So what was the restrictions that you had? How big were your choices, or how restrictive was it?
It was very restrict. I mean, it was to the point where it just got to the point where I said I knew that there's got to be a way to get rid of this, and it's probably through some ways. And I thought hypnosis sounds like the best way.
Sure. Now, how many years had you been struggling with this?
Let's just say a few years, many years.
Okay, got it. I want to ask more about what the quality of your life was before you saw TJ. How did it impact your life?
It's kind of hard to be the meat eater of a family who's one.
Charles. Now, Charles came in to see TJ for a very interesting presenting issue, food phobia. Help me welcome my two very special guests. Charles, I want to start with you. Tell me, what was going on?
Well, for, I'll just say many, many years, I've had a food phobia. Anything outside my normal food circle, so to speak, I would have retching, gagging, just on the edge of having a real scene.
Hello and welcome back to Hypnosis Today, where we explore how people are using hypnosis to achieve remarkable things. If you have just joined us, I have as my second two guests. Well, my first guest is TJ Galatas, and he is an honors grad of HMR College of Hypnotherapy, and he has with him his very special client and guest.
Like chicken's okay, meat's okay, but anything like vegetables or fruit is a little bit like in the, okay, we're really going to have to tread on tiptoes through this. Is he going to get sick? Is he going to, have a scene? And it just got to the point where look, I know I've heard hypnosis does great. I want to check this out and see what it does. And TJ really has done a great job at where I now have a choice. It's not like, okay, you have to eat this.